Alright, what is this? What will replace GDKP raids in Season of Discovery?
I'm Simonize, and welcome to another Simonize video.
Hi, Simonize.
Today, I'm going to talk about a bit of news that happened and related to Phase 2 of Season of Discovery.
It's a nice hat.
Blizzard has announced that they will be disallowing GDKP raiding in Phase 2 of Season of Discovery. I'd like to take this video to talk about what I think is good about GDKP raiding, also what is bad about it, and most importantly, what I think could be not only a replacement, but an improvement for the GDKP loot system for players in Season of Discovery. Just so we're all on the same page, a GDKP raid is one where items that drop are sold to the highest gold bidder. All winning bids are collected into a pot, and the pot is divided amongst all participants at the end of the raid. Let's talk about a few of those benefits. One reason why the GDKP loot format is good is that it provides an incentive for players to stay until the end of the raid when the total gold pot is divided amongst all the players.
Yeah, so basically you're keeping people hostage in the raid because they need the loot at the end. But you can do that as well in software serve raids though. You can just be like, okay, everybody here's the loot. We're not gonna give out any loot before we're done. Yeah, you gotta stay. You have to stay in the raid until we're done because loot won't be distributed. I mean, that's basically what happens, right? My loot didn't drop. Yeah, I guess then people will leave if their loot didn't drop. That happens, right? I don't know. I think that's just the problem with people, though, right? I don't know.
In other loot formats, some players will leave after the boss that drops the item they want dies and they either get or don't get that item. Why would they stay for the rest of the raid? There's nothing left in it for them. I'm not saying all players operate in this way, but when you can provide an actual incentive for them to stay till the end of the raid, it's far less often that you have people leaving mid-raid. GDKP also provides an incentive for players who are mostly or fully geared to continue attending the raid.
Get gold.
The gold payout at the end can be spent on consumables, repairs, profession leveling, or they could take it and use it to help gear up one of their more freshly geared alts in another GDKP raid. Main spec over off spec or soft reserve role systems don't really have this incentive. When a player gets fully or mostly geared in one of those systems, they're not really incentivized to continue attending, so sometimes they will stop attending, and they'll...
I mean, I don't know. I feel like for me, I kind of like... I just like raiding. I think it's fun doing pucks. I think it's fun like pumping when you have all your gear. I think having having to need like a gold incentive to do the raid, maybe you don't enjoy the raid as much as you think you do then. And I also think a lot of this is because I think people just don't want... They want the feeling of a guild, but they don't actually want to be in a guild. That's why there's so many GDKP communities. It's basically guilds. I mean, that's in essence what it is. Because it's the same amount of people just joining and joining and joining, right? I like raids. I keep going them even when I have full biz for the tier because I like to. I've raided on 11 characters the past 3 weeks and done every reset, and not a single person has ever left in raid for SOD for me. I have never had it happen in SOD. But I will say I did a raid in Wrath of the Lich King, and we were doing loot after each boss, and there was a paladin that got their loot from the gunship and then literally just logged off and left the raid. That happened. They just logged off, left the raid, didn't come back. Got their loot, they scooted.
Often be replaced by someone who's much more freshly geared and needs many more items. The result of this then is the other players who weren't lucky enough to win the items continue to face high loot competition as a revolving door of geared players tend to leave the raid and get replaced by undergeared players. Again, I'm not saying...
I mean, that happens in GDKPs as well though. Because you don't want a lot of pumpers in the raid that don't buy gold, that don't buy loot. Whenever you get fully biz geared in the GDKP, you get replaced unless you are like a pumper in the raid and you're carrying. Because in essence, what GDKPs are is that you have like a little bit of people that are very geared that carries the rest, and then the rest of them, they buy all the gear. That's kind of what works, right? That's how it really is. Maybe it's a controversial take, but I feel Blizzard should have gotten better reporting system to report toxic players like that. Sort of like in League of Legends. If you leave a game and you report it, you likely get banned. I mean, you could. I mean, they do have a system for it, but it's probably very flawed. But I do agree. There is definitely a lot of toxicity in many ways when it comes to that. What if they made GDKPs based off of fake currency, like a point system, like this dungeon killing point system would be awarded based on people doing well and helping the guild outside the raid? Spend time like gold, what a great idea. I mean, that's what guilds do, right? But I think a lot of these people just don't want to be in guilds, right? If your Ruby Sanctum raid would have been a GDKP, you would have cleared it in 30 minutes. Oh, shut up.
This always happens, but...
Yeah, I mean, not for leaving the raid. That's not what I mean, Siri. But I feel like with a mixture of other things as well, then maybe.
When you lack an incentive for a geared player to continue attending,
welcome. Thank you, Batashi.
They don't attend as much. The most important reason I like attending GDKPs is that everyone gets something valuable for their time. With most other loot systems, the most likely outcome is that I walk out of the raid with no items, a small repair bill, and having spent some consumables, and having the exact same odds of not making any character progress the next time I attend that raid as well.
I mean, I see his point on this. I do definitely see the point and what he's trying to make, but I feel like that doesn't have to always be like a reward always, every single time. I don't know. And I also, it is good doing GDKPs if you're in them and you're getting all the rewards, but it does so much bad for the game as well with all the gold buying and everything like that, right? Raiding for nothing isn't fun, especially after the 20th time. I mean, I don't know. I like joining raids with the feeling that I could get something. If I don't get anything, I mean, that's fine too, but at least I could still like keep doing the raid and have like a chance at getting it, right? What a dumb take. There's always has to be a gear monetary reward is why people started playing classic over retail. Yeah, I don't think there always has to be a reward, you know? Because, and I know this might be controversial, chat, but maybe just play the game to have fun, not necessarily to always have rewards and like, dopamine hits from gold or gear, right?
Feels really good to me knowing that when I attend a GDKP raid, I will make some kind of progress, either having more gold to spend the next time or walking out with an item. Another benefit of the GDKP loot system is that the points or gold you earn are transferable to any other group. If you can't make it for the regularly scheduled raid, you can join a different one and your gold is good there too. I
mean, because it's gold, but the thing about it is that then if you don't do GDKPs and the server is very GDKP heavy, then it affects every other aspect of the game too and all the economy, right?
Point systems like DKP or in a loot council system where you build up rapport with the same team, if you stop playing with that team or can't make the raid one week, you don't have any credit that transfers to whatever other group you attend. Especially with Season of Discovery's 3-day raid lockout, it can make it especially difficult to play with the same 10 people each lockout, because the 3-day lockout tends to conflict with everyone's IRL 7-day lockout. So despite trying to, I often can't play with the same 10 people each week.
I mean, I get that. It can be very frustrating joining BFD raids and then like having, new people join in and out, but then you just get like a group of people you play with. Just get like a group of people and be like, hey guys, after you do the raid, hey guys, when do you want to do the next raid? Okay, let's do it on Friday. Send it on Friday. After Friday, okay, hey guys, when do you want to do that? And then you do it on that. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, but I do get both points. Streamer take. I mean, yeah, I might definitely be a little bit jaded on this regard. Definitely for sure, because I do the stream rates and everything like that. But is it not normal? Okay, maybe I'm completely out of the loop with like how it is being a normal player here because I'm a streamer, Andy. But in BFD or like in phase 1, whatever, don't you have a raid or like a guild and then you just like form raids within that guild? I mean, that's what we do in Quota, right? We have the guild and then people form raids within the guild. For the 3-day lockout. People say just for communication with their guild friends. What? Yeah, I mean, just communicating. I mean, I don't know. Obviously, you can't always get 10 people every other day, but like, talk to the raid and be like, okay, when can most people do this next time? Okay, we can do it on Friday, but Billy can't attend. Okay, shit, dog. I think it's reasonable take. I've been doing BFD with the same core 6 people. Yeah, that's what I mean. Raids turn into drama and people leave. Well, welcome to World of Warcraft. That's WoW. There will be drama. There will be loot drama, regardless of anything. If you're doing GDKP, there will be drama because Billy is outbidding Kevin, and then Kevin gets pissed, right? In a normal raid, then like there's gonna be loot drama is the biggest source. Loot is the biggest source of drama in WoW. That's just what it is. I might be that might be a weird streamer take. You guys can say that obviously, but I feel like just having a group of 10 people or like 5, 6, 7 core people you play with, and finding somewhat days that everybody can play is that hard? Is that difficult for everyone? I mean, maybe it is, but I feel like that's not that hard. Like, just get this. You don't have to get 10 people always, but just have like a core group of people you play with, and then like if you need to fill with a few people, you can do that from your guild or from your whatever the heck. I got 3 characters, Biz, just by pucks. No, it's easy. Obviously, my experience with this is different because I stream. And, you know, luckily, I have a lot of people from the community that wants to play. So we can always bring in people. And obviously, sometimes I do bring in a new person that's not been with us before. And then he's going to take some loot that someone else wanted. But that's how it goes, right? You have to commit, but aside from that, it's pretty easy to find a core group. But I think that's just how MMOs are, though. They do require a lot of your time to play them. They are, in essence, like a second life in many ways, right? Yeah, what do you think of this? Raids give personal loot, so GDKPs are not needed anymore. I mean, a lot of people say I don't know if I like personal loot per se, but a lot of people have said that personal loot could be definitely a big fix for this. Isn't there like ways of distributing that as well, though? And that's the problem exactly. People don't want to spend that time. But don't play an MMO then, right? MMOs require a shitload of time, and they require you talking to other people. Maybe the reason why GDKPs have become so prevalent is because people just don't like the RPG element of WoW. They just don't like that element of it. They just want to find a group, do the raid, leave, right? That's it. They don't want to guild. They don't want to talk to people. They don't want to do that. They just want to raid and leave. They don't like the RPG. They just like, you know, raiding. In my experience, GDKP is the best loot system all through the years, and GDKP feels the best, and I've never bought gold, although it would be better if people didn't buy gold. Yeah, but people do. Yeah, there's retail for that kind of gaming. I don't know. It's definitely a hard thing, and it's like a thing that like divides a lot of people. I am probably jaded on this, and I'm probably not the best one to give a take on this because I am a streamer, but I don't see a big issue with SR raids personally. But I do understand why people don't like them. Let's keep seeing what he says, though.
Now, we covered why GDKP is good, but let's go into a little more detail about why GDKP is bad.
Okay.
And certainly, if it wasn't bad, they wouldn't be banning it. So this is important. In a GDKP raid, the more gold you're able to spend, the more loot you can get. Illegitimate players can buy gold through third-party websites and spend that gold in GDKP raids. The popularity of GDKP makes it easy for cheaters to turn their bought gold into character progress. It makes cheating more tempting. I think real money transaction and GDKPs have a parasitic relationship and not a symbiotic one. I think real money transaction absolutely benefits from the popularity and prevalence of GDKP raids in Season of Discovery. However, I think GDKP raiding is only hurt by the opportunity of players to break the terms of service and participate in real money transactions to get a bunch of gold. It is absolutely not necessary to buy.
No, it thrives because of it. The big reason why GDKP thrives is because people buy gold and they get a shitload of gold into the economy. I think a big reason why it's thriving is because there's just so much fluctuation. Because let's be honest, and this is not everybody doing GDKPs, of course, but there is a lot of people doing GDKPs that sell the gold that they earn. They host GDKPs, they make them, and what do they do with the gold? They sell it, and they make money. Why would anyone want to do BFD or what? Let's say Molten Core, whatever rate it is, 10 hours per day, every day? You know, because you're probably, you know, it's pretty straightforward, right? You're benefiting in some way, you know. So yeah, nobody loves raiding that much. Prefox, well, Prefox is a streamer. So how do streamers make money? I guess they stream and they make videos, right? So yeah, that's a different thing, I think.
Gold to be able to participate in GDKP raids. I should know because I've been participating in raids in Wrath of the Lich King Classic and now Season of Discovery Classic for over a year, every week on multiple characters. I've never bought gold, and I've geared these characters up solely through GDKP, taking my payouts from one week and spending them on items the next week.
I believe this. I used to do GDKPs in TPC. I didn't buy gold personally. Very suddenly, I had 50,000 gold. Yeah, because I kept doing GDKPs and I just had 50k gold suddenly. Because people were spending so much fucking gold in the raids. No cap, guys, I have actually never bought gold. I have done GDKPs, yes, I did them in TPC, but I stopped doing them after Sunwell Plateau. I just stopped doing it. But I probably got that much gold because a lot of people in the raids that I was doing bought gold. You know, that's pretty much it. There was people in the raid that I was doing that bought gold and bought items with those gold.
2 years, huh?
I think GDKP raids are hurt by the negative stigma attached to them due to some highlight reels of very obvious gold buyers spending obscene amounts of money in GDKP raids. A lot of players who don't participate in GDKP raids form their opinion based on these highlights, which are absolutely not the norm. And then those players choose not to participate because they think they're these bad gold buyer infested raids. So
I mean, yeah, I do think though, like the average prices in like GDKPs are pretty expensive though. I don't feel like it's like not the norm though. Yeah, obviously there's not like crazy insane prices on all the raids, but I do feel like they go for a lot of stuff, like a lot of gold, man. You know? When someone buys gold, it doesn't change the total gold amount on the server. It's because the bots are farming for gold. No, wouldn't it just fix the issue to ban the bots? I mean, yeah, ultimately, the issue are the bots, and the issue is people buying the gold, obviously. GDKPs is a means, you know, it's one means to an end with the whole thing, but it's not the only reason why people buy gold. There are a lot of 5k mint bits raids, for example. I don't know how much people buy stuff for in BFT. I actually have no clue. But I have seen some clips and some stuff, which he says highlight reels, obviously, of stuff going for quite expensive, right? Yeah, not 5k in BFD, obviously. That wouldn't make any sense. I don't know what the average price for an item is in BFD. 5 gold? I mean, probably now it's a little bit weird, because it's like, you know, end of phase 1, so people probably don't care about buying stuff. You know? 10k. Oh, 10k in Wrath? Dude, paying 10k for one item is crazy. Like in Wrath. That's insane. Like you pay 10,000 gold for one item. That's crazy.
Blizzard banning GDKP raids in Phase 2 of Season of Discovery. What will all the GDKP players do? And I'm really not concerned with what the illegitimate cheaters and gold buyers will do. I'm concerned with what will all the totally legitimate players that really enjoyed the benefits of the GDKP loot format do? Certainly, some of them will participate in other raids and other loot systems.
Yeah.
Some of them will play the game less, as a legitimate form of play they enjoyed is now banned for no fault of their own. But I think if Blizzard could step in, they could do something great that benefits not only the lost, legitimate GDKP players, but also the rest of the player base that couldn't experience the benefits of the GDKP loot system because of the negative stigma attached to it that they were never even willing to try it. I think Blizzard could implement a new loot system option, and they could design a system that attempts to replicate many of the benefits of GDKP raiding with hopefully not having such an obvious downside of being susceptible to real money transactions.
How could you do that?
And don't worry, I'm not relying on Blizzard to come up with this idea. I am going to offer you that suggestion right here and right now. I call my idea the emblem auction loot format. When you select this loot format, bosses will drop an emblem currency for all raiders. And then the boss loot is going to be auctioned for emblems via the in-game interface. The highest bidder gets the item, the emblems are deleted, and you move on. Emblems can only be acquired from raids with this loot system enabled, and the emblems cannot be traded to other players. And there's one final important bit.
This seems horrible though for raiding. I don't know. Is this DKP? Yeah, I guess it's like I can't say that DKP, but it's just without a guild. So you I don't know. I don't know if this would really work. This is, yeah, it's legit GDKP. Yeah, this is DKP. Yeah, you get DKP for killing a. I mean, dragon kill points. That's what DKP means. You kill a dragon, you get kill points. So it's like an emblem in this case, right? Yeah, like a universal DKP.
That the emblems could be given to an NPC for some kind of moderate reward. Maybe that's gold or something else generally desirable by most players.
Okay, I obviously disagree with what Simon Ice is saying, but I do appreciate him trying to like argue for what he likes doing and why he thinks certain ways. I think that's respectable. I mean, we each have our own opinions, but do people just have that big of an issue with playing the game? I'm gonna say, quote, normally. Like, there needs to be some sort of a big reward. I thought the reward for the raid was like doing the raid and then playing with the people and maybe getting some gear, right? Isn't that the thing? This new system sounds good as fuck. I mean, it's basically just DKP.
This is basic.
We don't have those with different currencies. You loot from raid bosses, or no? Don't we kind of have those with different currencies? You loot from raid bosses and are able to buy items. No, he's speaking of a currency that would drop from the boss that would be specifically used for bidding. So it is DKP. It's dragon kill points. It was like a loot system that was back in vanilla, right? That a lot of guilds used. Try to do a normal raid on classic era, no streamer bennies. I mean, again, yeah, I might be completely weird on this one, but I don't really feel... If I were to raid off stream, not tell anyone about it, just try to form a raid, I think it could work pretty well, man. And if it's really shitty pugging, I'm gonna find a guild. Right? Just find a guild and then raid with the guild, right? Isn't that what you do in WoW? You find a guild and you play with your guild, and if you don't want to do that, you puck, but you have to play with pucks, right?
DKP system with transferable points. It does not have any administrative work or overhead to keep track of these points like a DKP system would have. And it provides many of the benefits that a GDKP raid would. Everyone's incentivized to kill every boss to get some emblems. If you can't play with the exact same 10 people each week, don't worry. The progress and points you've
been streaming so much you don't see the outside playstyle. Boosting is the same as GDKP. Are you saying I'm getting boosted in my raids? Have you seen my raids? Actually true. My raids are absolutely insane. Okay? My raids are freaking crazy, dude. We absolutely always pop off like absolutely insane. They're crazy.
Can get you loot in other raids also.
Since
the emblems are only obtained in raid and can only be spent either at the NPC or through the in-game auction interface, it's much more difficult for someone to use real money transaction to gain an advantage in this system.
The game is for 30-plus-year-olds with children and jobs, etc. Sometimes it's hard to commit 1 to 2 specific hours or of nights to read to wait with a guild. I get that, but that's why MMOs aren't popular anymore, because people don't have time to play MMOs, right? I mean, MMOs are a massive time sink, and that's just that's what it is, right? It's shocking, but your raids are still far above normal. Yeah, that's a little bit shocking. The game isn't for people like that. It's for kids that have time to play it. Yeah, I mean, it's a time sink. It's like you're living a second life, right? That's why like kind of BRs and like battle royales and like League of Legends, those kind of games are more popular because you can go in, play one game, go out. You don't have to, queue up or anything like that at a specific time. You just play when you play, right? I don't know. Oh no, I one guy won RNG, won all the gear I wanted, and GDKP someone and buy you out. I mean, there's problems with any loot system, I think.
Emblems dropping from every boss and the cash out mechanic mimic two very good benefits of GDKP. First, that everyone that attends the raid gets something valuable for their time every time. And because a geared character could simply collect some emblems and give them to the NPC for a moderate reward, the geared characters are still incentivized to attend the raid. I think if a system like this could be implemented into World of Warcraft, it'd be a very good thing for all players.
Okay.
I think an emblem auction system mimics many of those benefits, and many players would enjoy to participate in a loot system like this. Thank you for watching this video. I know it's not like my normal videos. I'm not telling you how to do more DPS on your rogue, but I am really passionate about this topic, so I wanted to share my views. I hope you are having fun in Season of Discovery.
It's great.
I'm having a blast. I'm super stoked for Phase 2. I'm not sure what I'm going to do without being able to participate in GDKP, so I'm just going to have to figure that out. I hope to see you on the live Twitch streams, which are linked in the video description below, and I hope you have a great day.
Yep, I really like Simon Eyes, actually. He's a really cool guy. Obviously, I don't agree with a lot of his points that he's trying to make, but he's still a really great guy. He's a really chill, super chill guy. I'm gonna like the video. I'm on my VOD account, that's why I'm not subbed. I am subbed on my main, obviously, but I like Simon Eyes. He makes some really good rogue guides, and obviously very passionate about the GDKP stuff. And it's interesting hearing. I think from a perspective of me, obviously, I'm not a big fan of GDKPs. I don't like them. I don't think they're great for the game. It's very intriguing and interesting hearing someone that likes it and how they argue for what they want in the game, right? And the reason why they like GDKPs. I think it's interesting conversation to hear about. Level-headed, well-presented argument. Even if you disagree, he makes some good points. Yeah, I think he does make some good points. I don't think the DKP system that he's like the emblem stuff is a good idea. I think it might just incentivize more like gold inflation in terms of like the turning them in. I don't know. I guess we'll see how the game gets affected by the whole thing, right? Like how it is. I've said this a few times before, but if the game dies without GDKPs, maybe it deserves to die.